Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we're tuning into running back again, but before we get into anything, I just want to say thank y'all for all the support y'all been showing. I really appreciate all the support, and I'm just grateful to have a platform where I can talk about the Spurs and really engage with all of y'all. So I just want to let y'all know that y'all support really means the world to me, and if y'all keep watching, I'm gonna keep supplying the bangers. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So as I said, we're tuning into running back again. Really, they just keep talking about Wemby, so I'm just gonna keep on listening. Well, this one specifically, they're talking about the Spurs. Lou Will says Spurs should target Zach LaVine, De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal, or Brandon Ingram at the trade deadline. Michelle Beadle likes the idea of Jimmy Butler on her Spurs, but doesn't think it makes him a contender. And Lou Will says you don't want to waste Wemby years. So without wasting too much time, let's go ahead and listen to this clip. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts after. I haven't listened to this. I actually liked it and saved it just for Spurs Spotlight. So let's go ahead and just get straight to it.
We've already entered trade deadline situations, scenarios, speculation. Spurs have been a part of a lot of these conversations already. Is there an urgency? Because this was supposed to be a building process.
Yep.
Like we get Wemby and then you just sort of grow. But they seem to be better than people expected, a little bit quicker. So how urgent is it to add now and figure it out?
Yeah, you don't want to waste Wemby years.
Yeah.
Right? So even if this team is going to, they're going to be active in the offseason, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't be active at the All-Star break and try to bring in one of these big marquee name guys.
Who are we thinking?
That are available out there. You know, it's a bunch of guys are available. Zach LaVine's still available. You've heard the noise from De'Aaron Fox. There's been some other guys being mentioned in that. Jimmy Butler is a guy that's unhappy where he is. Bradley Beal is another guy that you can have a conversation about.
Ingram.
Waiving his trade clause. Brandon Ingram. There's a lot of household names that are out there that can help this group be more mature, right? That can kind of push them over the edge of being a better basketball team, and to give them the tools that Wemby need to push them over the edge. You know, they're right there on the bubble of being a playoff team. If you can add one or two of these guys to that mix, and you can solidify yourself in the playoffs, anything can happen, and that process starts a little faster than we can plan for.
You know.
So my thing with this take so far is you don't want to be like the Mavericks. For example, when they first got Luka Doncic, they didn't expect him to be that good. Nobody expected him to be that good. I think he was All-NBA his second season. And so the Mavs, they saw how good he was and they were like, oh snap, we gotta hurry it up. And then you see a trade for Kristaps, they let go of Jalen Brunson, and they get themselves into kind of a mess like that. Granted, they were able to save it with the Kyrie trade. It actually aged pretty well and they have a good team. But now you look at it, they don't have too many picks. I think they traded 2 picks just to get PJ Washington. So I think there were ways that the Mavericks could have executed better to build something that is durable for the long term. And so when you look at some of these guys right here, like with Jimmy Butler, Zach LaVine, or Bradley Beal, like those guys are floor raisers, but I don't know how much better they make you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are aging guys right here. Bradley Beal with that max contract, that just takes up a whole lot of space. Zach LaVine also has a large contract. Now, De'Aaron Fox, I could see you trading for, but Brandon Ingram, I don't think so either. Jimmy Butler, no. These are all aging stars. And like Michelle Beadle said, they don't make the Spurs a contender. They're just floor raisers. And it doesn't help building something in the long term like a dynasty, which I'm sure the Spurs really want to build. But like I said, Fox would definitely be good. So let's see what else they have to say before we get out of here.
You know what's funny is because they have all the Bleacher Reports out there, all those types of websites have been putting trade scenarios out there, and I find myself reading the Spurs ones, and I want to respond no, like I don't like that. But then you realize, oh
what
God,
do you like? Tell me who would you like?
I like Jimmy Butler a lot, but I don't think that that's the piece that would make things better or fit in San Antonio necessarily. But then you realize, I can't just write no on there. If that trade did go down, I'm going to look like a real turd. So you're just sort of like, I've probably written out no 15 times and then erased it.
My targets would either be De'Aaron Fox or Trae Young. Someone low-key could also be like a Herb Jones. I know he just got injured, so I don't know how that would work out, but I would also like to add Herb Jones to the core. Either a wing or a guard, because Castle is so versatile. You can really put him at the 3 or the 1. It just depends on how the Spurs view him. But whichever one you want to put Castle at, you go attack the other position, because that's what we need, along with the backup center. A backup center is necessary, like, right now.
Don't post
Go
it.
for it.
Just don't send.
Go for it. Just hit the button and see what happens. Just go for it.
I'll burn the whole thing, and it's no.
So shout out to running back. That was some good stuff. But like Michelle Beadle said, the Spurs have been better than expected. So shout out to Sraven NBA. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but y'all go ahead and give them a follow. And as you can see, they posted comparison of wins last season to this season. As of January 9th, 2024, the team's logos represent last season's wins on this day, sorted by win total this season. So just some teams that have made the biggest jumps. You got the Pistons, you got the Cavs. Grizzlies made a pretty good jump, but the Spurs are also one of these teams that have made one of the best jumps this season. And many people did not expect this. I knew we were going to be better than last season, but I didn't know how much. And to be quite honest, I'm a little surprised. I didn't expect us to be this good. But then again, like a Luka situation, Wemby is probably going to be All-NBA in his second year. But you don't want to accelerate the timeline too fast to where you lose assets without building something that's durable for the long run. So that's why I say getting a Jimmy Butler or a Bradley Beal really wouldn't help us, because although they are good and they could help us make a playoff push this season, I think they would regress eventually, and then you just have a gap in your team where you gave up some assets that were really valuable and then you're left with nothing. So looking at this, I think the Spurs should continue building with the draft, making very small trades to fill in some holes like backup center, maybe backup wing or starting wing until next year's draft. And then when you get into the playoffs next year, you can see who fits, who doesn't, and then you ship off people from there. Kind of like OKC did with the Josh Giddey situation. They made it to the playoffs and then they saw Giddey didn't really fit the team, and so they shipped him off to Chicago and they got Alex Caruso, who they extended and is going to be a part of that team for a while. So let me know what y'all are thinking. Do the Spurs make a trade for one of those players? Do y'all like them? I don't. Personally, I would prefer a Trae Young or De'Aaron Fox, but let me know what y'all think. Also, if y'all didn't know, the Spurs and Lakers game has been canceled or postponed. I don't know when it's going to take place, but whenever I do know, I will be sure to let y'all know. With that being said, y'all be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to Spurs Spotlight, and until then, I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.